Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to our Pokemon Unite video featuring Snorlax and Masters Rank. Man, it's been a minute since we actually sat down and played some Snorlax, but at the end of the day, like, this is the best tank in this entire game. The only difference is that there's a lot of bad Snorlaxes and there's a lot of good Snorlaxes. There's a lot of moments where Snorlax actually makes a huge difference on your team. You know what I mean? There's good plays and bad plays when it comes to Snorlax. In certain situations, you have to be there for. In certain situations, if you're not there, you're going to end up losing that, losing the team fight. There's a lot of things you got to account for, other than the fact that when to go in, how much damage you can soak up, and when to go out. Snorlax in himself is a Pokemon who initiates fights, a Pokemon who has to protect his teammates. Like, you're playing Snorlax, you're not going to, 1v5 the enemy team. You know what I mean? That's not your goal. You want to protect your carries, right? In this aspect, this is really a tough lane for us, to be fair. I mean, I'm playing with the Ralts versus Ralts and Snorlax. It all depends on if their team in the top lane gets ahead of ours. Like, if their Ralts gets an advantage, we end up losing the fight, if that makes sense. And our Ralts goes a little bit, too far, too deep there for me to actually want to follow into the Greninja, or that's coming on, against us. Frogadier, whatever you want to call his name, you know what I mean. Now, you could argue that I could have followed in that sense, but you got to keep in mind that the jungler came through with red and blue buff, if that makes sense. Therefore, I would not have been able to get away. So that would have been a 2 for what? Nothing. Loss in our aspect. Now, this game kind of surprised me, and I wanted to show you guys just because certain things that I end up doing in this match, along with, we have a jungle Wigglytuff. Now, people love to give other players crap. Like, if I have a Wigglytuff on my team and I want to go jungle per se, and someone else on my team locks in Gengar or Zahora or whatever, and you're Wigglytuff, you call jungle first, right? For example, they will always blame you, right? If you lose the jungle because they wanted to jungle something else. That's just how it is. So it's very hard to play Pokemon in other roles that you don't see that often because people will flame you for it, and then we don't get to play it. We don't get to experience it. It's rough, man. So in that aspect, this Wigglytuff does phenomenal, by the way. Like, her and I, or him, I'm sorry, excuse me, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We carry this game in a team aspect. Because when I play Snorlax, I like to rotate. I like to be at every objective I possibly can. You gotta play Snorlax in the top lane. You have to. Now, you can be like, well, I play Snorlax bot lane. Man, you can do fine in bot lane. The issue is when you play solo queue, when you play this game, not in a group, it's better for you to be top lane. Because when Dreadnought spawns, your teammates are already guaranteed bot lane, right? 9 out of 10. So when you're top lane, all you have to do is move your butt to bot lane, right? Generally speaking, let's say you're playing bot lane Snorlax, Dreadnought spawns, and your team doesn't rotate, right? Then what? It's you 9 out of 10 will lose that Dreadnought. So when you're already in a top lane position and you already have teammates in bot lane, it's easier for you to just move, if that makes sense. As I said, our Wigglytuff does phenomenal in this game. I'm trying to make plays when she's going to, rotate or what have you. Right now we're trying to get up here to this Rotom. But at the end of the day, it's only us two that's moving for it. We try our best, but they get it before us. They do have a DPS on it already. But don't knock on Wigglytuff, guys. Like, this play right here is phenomenal just because how we play in position. So Kyria steps out of bounds, essentially, and I do the eject into a block. Now, again, she's sleeping them as well. So in the same sense, they can't move. Like, that's it. They can't get out. Snorlax does happen to get away because my heavy slam goes a little bit short. It is what it is. That's fine. Rotom ends up touching our goalpost, but hey, we killed them, therefore they can't score, right? That's essentially what we actually wanted to do. Snorlax comes back in, being level 7, he needs to go farm. Like, he's behind. Now, you could argue that Wigglytuff is super ahead, and she is, because she's been rotating, and she's been getting her jungle farm, and she's been capitalizing on certain scenarios in which you should be as a jungler. They do end up getting a little score here, but that's fine, because I know my Gardevoir is coming up here. I did think that we'd be able to kill the Kyria, so I was on the Snorlax just in case, but we did not. Gardevoir does end up getting to fall back here because that's what she has to do in this situation because Greninja is coming. She whiffs an ulti. I don't know what that was about. But at the end of the day, that ult right there costed us that situation where if she would have, you know, waited for her team to get up here or actually landed it, in a sense, we might have been able to turn that around. But you can't really predict what your teammates are going to do, especially when you play solo queue, right? Sometimes it's, you know, army of one, right? Because you know what you're going to do in that situation. You don't know what your teammates are going to do in that situation. So down here, I rotate with Wigglytuff again, because Dreadnought has been spawned. Armachamp is actually doing really well too, by the way. I don't mean to like disregard any of our teammates. He's actually doing quite well. I don't see him that often, per se. I don't pay him much attention. But he's not just running in there with submission and dying instantly, if that makes sense. Here again, you eject button, you wall. In this aspect, Ninetales is not going anywhere. Now, I do that quite often, especially against Ninetales. In any game whatsoever, like I try to single her out opposed to a lot of Pokemon, just because how much carry potential she brings to winning a team fight with her crowd control and her ultimate. So if you get in a position where you can just flash on top of somebody and then start blocking them, you know, that's fantastic, especially a Pokemon like Ninetales. I mean, she can't do anything to engage or turn that team fight around, which is exactly what you want. Now, Ninetales, in a sense, isn't like, I'm the carry type ordeal, but she's the type of Pokemon where if she gets onto your carry, it could be detrimental to your team, especially if you don't have anyone else that's fallen back to peel off. But we end up taking this, Rotom up top lane. Gardevoir gets a delicious ult, let's be honest. Like, that was pretty good. Don't get me wrong, she only captured 2 Pokemon inside the ultimate, but the thing is, when you're playing Gardevoir, you don't want to sit here and try to just throw an ult and try to get 5 every single time. That's going to make you not be able to, how you say, like, play her at full potential. As long as you can capture, you know, at least 2 Pokemon in the ultimate, that's great. You won the team fight. It's over, in that sense. And the more you look for 5 Pokemon in an ult, the longer it takes you to actually do anything productive when you have an ultimate that's not on cooldown. Here, I overstepped my boundaries. I was trying to help them get out. I did. They got out. That's fine. But I have to die for it. That's fine. I mean, you don't necessarily want to get killed, but sometimes, you know, you have to take that, especially when you get your teammates out of the situation. But Dreadnought is also spawning. Keep that in mind. Zapdos is spawning in 15 seconds. Once Zapdos spawns, the other objectives on the map disappear. So if you're starting Dreadnought like 5 seconds, 7 seconds, give or take left, it's not going to make a difference because you're not going to be able to end up getting it most of the time. Let's be honest. So here, I'm sitting here playing with Pikachu, right? I see Ninetales again, all by herself. I'm trying to push them both to my squad. Ninetales gets singled out yet again. She can't be useful in this situation where, as long as you guys jump on the right target and keep the right targets away from your carries as Snorlax, you're great. I felt bad for Charizard because I don't know what he was doing, to be honest with you. That was just bad. So we get into a situation here where Gardevoir does activate her ultimate. I saw it coming, so I activate my ultimate just to give everyone Buddy Barrier, just in case, you know, they do get caught and something happens. Ninetales gets stunned to death yet again. You want to try to, like I said, keep her off your carries. Charizard is being a goof. I mean, me dying in this situation, that's great. I don't mind. That's cool. Because he is going to end up taking me down. He's going to have to activate, you know, his Unite move to do it regardless. But my team gets to go score and do shenanigans. While Charizard is over here trying to solo Zapdos. Which I can only, you know, assume. And, you know, look, that's what he's doing. This could have been bad, to be honest with you. It could have been really, really bad. But our team actually rotated, and they paid attention, and they went over to clean this up. Which you don't see a lot, right? Let's be honest. Because, like I said, we're winning this match, right? We don't need Zapdos to completely carry this game. We don't. We just had to defend it. And that's exactly what we did. You could argue that we were playing aggressive in that sense. We were, but the enemy team wasn't on Zapdos, right? They were too busy trying to focus on us. So when you get into that mindset that Zapdos is spawned, don't always just automatically go for Zapdos if you don't need it. Just play smart. Play a little bit defensive. Eventually you will have that teammate that slips up and be like, Zapdos is here, we gotta get it. And you will end up losing games for it. But that's out of your control. As long as you feel like you're playing well, you'll climb regardless. But hopefully you guys did enjoy me playing Snorlax. I will be coming up with different Pokemon here soon. We will have some Gardevoir, Garchomp. We got Crustle coming up. Stay tuned, guys. I appreciate y'all. It's been Pawseplays. I'll catch you guys in the next Pokemon Unite video. Also, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, look for live streams. Alright, guys. I'm going to head out. Have a good one.